Hey kittens, it's Fairly. I have a deck review for you today. I've reviewed a few tarot decks on this channel before, but today I have an oracle deck for you. I'm a tarot person. I've spent a long time studying tarot and even longer reading it, and oracle decks are pretty new to me. So when the creator of this deck reached out to me and asked me to do a review for you here, I was really interested to see where it would fit into my practice. So this is the Magick and Mediums Oracle deck. This is created by Reid and it's illustrated by Ash Colored. It's a really gorgeous deck. Let me just kind of give you some specs to start off with. The box is gorgeous. It'll look great on your shelf with all your tarot decks because if you're anything like me, you have 500 of them. The deck itself is substantially sized. It's about the size of your average tarot deck, maybe a little bit wider. There are 54 cards and they are printed on a linen textured, very flexible, but not too lightweight cardstock. They shuffle really, really nicely. They're not too slippery. I think with linen texture in general, they tend to be a little bit more, I don't want to say sticky, but not slippery. You know the balance that I'm talking about. I'm shuffling cards all day, every day, so it really is important to me that they shuffle well. So, now that that's aside, let's look at the deck. It comes with an incredibly thorough guidebook, and I say that with an incredible degree of impression here because I don't usually look at guidebooks. Again, I'm a tarot reader. Tarot decks tend to be tarot decks. I know I've reviewed some very different tarot decks here, so, you know, that aside, the guidebooks tend to be tarot guidebooks. This is an oracle deck. This is very, very different. There really is no similarity to the tarot whatsoever, so the guidebook becomes integral. And it is a 150-page guidebook. So if that doesn't tell you how thorough it is, I don't know how much more I can emphasize that. There's tables in here, like she's created charts. Everything has a meaning, as well as a reversal meaning. If you choose to do reversals with these, you can. The back of the cards doesn't, you know, lend itself necessarily to reversals. You're going to be able to tell whether they're upright or not. That matters to some people. So keep that in mind. You can read reversals. She provides reversals, but you're going to be able to tell when they are reversed when you shuffle. She also gives you indications of what they could mean if they're in a blocked position, if they're in an advice position, divination. Like, she's gone all in with this. I cannot imagine how long this took to write. I did listen to the podcast that she did where she talked about how she came up with it, and I was kind of impressed to hear that this arose from a professional need. She had said that she had a lot of clients asking her how they could develop their own personal magic, where their talents were, and what they were meant to explore. I kind of wish I had her clients because I've never had a client ask me that before. My professional practice tends to be a lot more practical. I have a lot more people asking me about careers and love life and things like that. I've never really had anyone ask me for like witchy advice outside of, you know, whether I could do something for them. But that said, this does fill a very unique purpose, and that is to help you expand your understanding of your magical practice. I was a little tripped up when I first started to work with this deck. Full disclosure, I've had this for a few weeks and it was kind of difficult for me to get into because, like I said, my practice looks very different. I don't really read tarot often for myself because it's really difficult for me to be wholly objective and follow my intuition. My practicality and my understanding of my own situation totally plugs up that ability to get in there. So I don't really read for myself often, and this deck didn't lend itself to me reading for others, so it took me a while to figure out how to best use it. I did have a couple situations come up where I had a personal situation that I wasn't really sure how to go about magically. I am a practicing witch, so for me, I do tend to respond to personal issues with magic, even if it's just to settle my own mind. So this deck came out a couple times for me to figure out how to approach a magical situation, and that's where it really shines. So the cards themselves, like I said, there's 54 of them, and they cover everything from meditation and very like surface level, you know, everyone can kind of get into it things, to more obscure magical theory. So when you're working with this, there are going to be times where you have to wonder what exactly it means for the situation at hand. And again, that's where the guidebook comes in, because she gives you all sorts of ideas for how things can apply to what you're asking about. It can be as simple as a one-card pull, you know, what do I need to know about this particular spell that I'm working with, and that's that. Or you could do a more concise 3-card reading to get much more insight into a situation. They are much more versatile than I initially thought they were going to be. This deck kind of comes off like troubleshooting with a friend. It's very conversational. This is definitely a gorgeous deck, and the images lend themselves really well to kind of getting lost in, and you know, really just letting your mind wander. I get the impression that these are very like dream inspired, probably come from more of an intuitive understanding. There are some cards where I wouldn't necessarily expect the image to go with the keyword, but they work. They really do work nicely together. If you are looking to expand your personal practice, if you are looking for something to kind of take out every so often and kind of recalibrate and refocus where you're going magically, this could definitely be super, super helpful for you. I can definitely see myself using them that way, just kind of to refocus when I'm a little off course or I feel like things are changing. Virgo season is a good time for that. I feel like there's so much in flux right now with all of the Uranus transits we've had and all that stuff. I've definitely had to kind of refocus and put myself back on a path, and I have absolutely used these cards to do so. If you're strictly professional and looking for something that your clients can get a lot of use out of, this might not be for you. But they're definitely they're totally Instagrammable. These would be great for daily card pulls, just for meditation and focus. The price point is a little bit higher than you'd normally see, I think, in an Oracle deck that is just mass produced. This is definitely an independent project, so you're gonna have a little bit of a higher price point. I believe they are typically $58, but they are on sale, I think right now on the website, for $44.99. If you're interested, definitely jump on it before that is over. You can get just the cards without the guidebook for $29, but I really think the guidebook is such an incredible value. Like, this is a book unto itself, despite the small size. I like it. I honestly, I have to admit, I was not sure I'd see the application, but I really do like them. They're gonna find a place in my personal practice for sure. Are you an Oracle deck fan? Are you strictly a tarot purist? Let me know. I'd love to hear your opinion. You can subscribe to this channel. I do videos every single day on astrology, and I'm going to be getting back into doing a lot more videos on tarot, on magic. Let me know what you'd like to hear from me, because I would love your ideas. I will see you later. Bye.